Because when you put these games on these networks, you take away an opportunity to see players like this who are uh, finalists for the Wooden Award. You want to be able to see what these ladies are doing. You got Paige Bueckers trying to creep her way back into the game. Back from her injuries. You got Angel trying to defend, and then you got Caitlin winning everything. Like Caitlin Clark's winning everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to talk about Paige right here. It's nice to talk about Angel right here. I've heard them talking about I think Tahina Pau.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say they mentioned was it Hannah Hidalgo and Juju Watkins
Yeah.
as also potential winners of the Wooden. But let's be clear, this is going to Caitlin Clark, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to Caitlin Clark, and deservingly so. And I know this is everybody's like, sis, yeah, Yanti with Uncle Tennessee's I tell you guys all the time, I'm not a Caitlin Clark fan, but I have a great respect for her game. I have a great respect for everything that she's done. I did get a chance to watch the game on Peacock last night, and listen, I mean, the kid's been awesome this year. She's been awesome this year. She's had a brilliant career over the 4 years. I can't think of the name of the person in the chat. I almost want to say it was Scott, but I'm not sure. But somebody called out like that. Caitlin has never missed a game. So her greatest ability outside of her ability to shoot from the logo is her availability.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so this kid came into the game and came into college and set it on fire, and she's continued on that trajectory over the entire 4 years. I think that this is her award to lose. I don't think that there's much that she can do to lose it. I think that sheesh, man, the season is pretty much done. We're 20 games in. We're gonna be moving into the conference tournaments pretty soon. But the Wooden Award and probably all of those awards are hers to lose. I expect her to go back to back on all the awards that she won last year.
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree. And let's be clear, Paige Bueckers won this award in 21-22.
yeah, as a freshman.
As a freshman, she got one. And let's see, Caitlin got it last year. She'll get it this year, like you said. You got my angel Reese, who
That woman name is Angel Reese. I don't know why he couldn't keep putting my on the front. Let's be clear. If y'all Google her, don't Google my angel because you won't find her. Okay? Google Angel Reese because if you Google my angel, you're not gonna get her. I don't. Okay, coach, go ahead. Your angel, keep going.
Well, but on a serious note, so like you mentioned, let's talk about it again. Caitlin is outperforming individually both of these other players. My personal opinion. Her individual performance.
She's outperforming everybody in women's college hoops right now.
But if we talk about these three,
from an offensive perspective,
yeah, from an offensive perspective, but it's almost like a foregone conclusion. I called it the Caitlin Clark Cupcake Classic. Who's going to come in second is really it really should be the topic of discussion because she's head and shoulders above everybody. And I'll say that these are the awards that are going to stack up and stack up and stack up because it's subconsciously for those writers and things of that nature, those that vote, subconsciously a substitute for not getting that natty. Let's just call it what it is.
And not only that, for the first time, like last night when Caitlin talked at the end of the game, I felt really confident that Caitlin is going to the W. Caitlin said, "Time's dwindling down to play with these ladies. I really love playing with these ladies. It's been great playing with these ladies." That sounds like
Mm-hmm.
after this season, I'm done playing with these ladies. But I could be wrong. She just might have been in the moment. And that's the other thing. It's so much pressure on her uh, to get these records broken, and she's gonna get it done. That's. But more and more people are showing up every game.
Mm-hmm.
More and more things are being asked of her every day.
I think that Caitlin Clark knows she could literally elevate the women's game if she were to go to the WNBA this year.
Okay,
Teaming
let's
her
talk
up
about
with
that.
Boston and teaming her up with that team that she would more than likely be drafted by a number one overall pick would be must see TV, and it could
On
literally
Ion,
elevate. Well, whatever network you can see it on.
on Ion, I'm asking you.
Well, but
I'm
you know
asking
what?
you.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
asking you. Okay, because
On Ion,
you signed this TV deal
right.
on Ion.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have Ion on your TV?
It's on there, but
I
I
gotta
don't go
check
to
my
it.
streaming
Yeah, I got
services. I'm
it.
not even sure if I got
I have
Ion.
Ion. I have Ion.
I think I got it somewhere.
I have Ion. Ion reminds me of, for those that are not in the Midwest area, CW, the former CW channel, where you wouldn't know what's coming on CW unless you just happen to stumble across it.
The CW is still around.
Yeah, I don't have it. It must have fell off my package because I used to watch Judge Mathis on it. But that's a whole other
So
conversation.
you didn't watch All American.
No.
Oh, you missed a good show right there.
Yeah.
That was a good one right
I
there.
tried.
Based on the true story. I digress. I ain't gonna go
Yeah.
there. But listen, and that's not to take anything away from Ion. I appreciate y'all support. I appreciate y'all support of the WNBA. And I understand that y'all trying to get to the next level. And I hope that the WNBA sticks with y'all as they continue to grow, and that you remain a supporter and a channel that has the WNBA on it. But y'all telling me Caitlin Clark coming to the league, Paige Bueckers coming to the league, Angel Reese, as Coach say, his Angel coming to the league, and we only gonna be able to see him on Ion and sometimes on ESPN. Talk to me about that, Coach.
This
Talk to me
freshman
about that.
class may change that narrative, is what I'm saying. I don't know how long the deals are for.
We just signed these deals.
Yeah, but deals can always, yeah. I mean, it just comes down to the exposure. But yeah, if they're locked into it,
They signed these deals knowing this talent was coming.
yeah.
And my thing is, Peacock, you signing up, get these, and Peacock, they got and one thing about Peacock and why they may not be a WNBA supporter this summer coming up is, Peacock is gonna have so much Olympic coverage going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going into Paris this year. So maybe we won't have WNBA games there, but ESPN, you don't got one network that you could put some WNBA games on so that we could see Caitlin and Paige and Angel if they go this year or over the next 2 years, where we're gonna be able to see a Michaela Williams, a Juju Watkins, a Mylasia Fuwiley continue to play. WNBA, I need y'all to make some better deals. And sometimes I feel like the WNBA just need like some younger people in the front office. That's what I feel like sometimes. Like they just need a shot of youth into the W, to help see kind of everything. Because I think some things get forgotten.
And how are
You
you going
couldn't cut a YouTube deal.
how you gonna
Everybody
have
watching YouTube.
how you gonna have expansion of the WNBA if you don't have as much exposure? How can you
Well,
expand? How can you get
you got
more
a new
teams?
team coming out, and that's the other thing, Coach. You say you think that this is going to cause an expansion. It's still, we got one new team coming online next season, 25. We only got so many spots. And these ladies at $50,000, $75,000, $250,000 a year, they're not hitting the generational wealth that they thought they were going to hit. They playing 20 years at $250,000.
There's a very low percentage of players that are coming in that are probably going to be floating off of their NIL deals, or like in the case of Caitlin Clark, she's pretty set because she has a State Farm deal, but that's few far in between. There's going to be
Angels got deals. Angels got
Yeah.
deals.
There's a very low percentage of players that are going to come in.
But then also, what is that? I'm interested also, and this is something that we could talk about following. How does this dynamic change the the locker room. Okay, in the sense that I've been the big dog here. I make $250,000 a year. I may have won championships here or played deep in the playoffs here. And here you come in here with all 2.5, 3 million other dollars that you'd have made a year over the last 2, 3 years. Uh, what does that dynamic look like?
That dynamic is going to look like a lot of young players being put together to play together and grow together and kind of weed out those senior players that may feel that way. That's what's going to happen.
You can't push me out. You can't push me out the league. I've been here.
No push out. What I'm saying is you're going to see like Indiana, it's a no-brainer to take Caitlin if she comes out because you have a very young core. That young core understands there won't be that because you got
how many teams have a young core?
That's my exact point.
And let's be honest. Let's be honest. Women can be catty. Women can be catty.
Exactly.
And so again, my question is
we're talking about is that way that may prompt a decision. One of the players coming out and the teams choosing players. I think you're absolutely
I think the
right.
dynamic, but I think that I'm talking about locker room here. I'm not talking about I'm talking about locker room.
Right.
And I'm talking about veteran leadership trying to lead young people that have made more money than you dreamed about.
No, I get it. What I'm saying is that's going to factor into the moves that are made. You see what I'm saying? If you that's coming out 2 years.
That's not. I don't think that we're looking at the same things. I'm talking about specifically that the dynamic between the players in the locker room. What's coming out is what's coming out. You're gonna pick that. But I'm talking about if the big dog has been used to being the leader, and I set the tone, and I teach you what it's like to, for lack of a better word, the Patriot way here. You coming in ain't won nothing, but you'd have made more money than me. Are you listening? Yeah. Are you coming into being a part of this?
Absolutely not. Because they've been put on the pedestal their whole career. That will cause some issue. But what I'm saying is we're talking about the same thing. I think we're talking about different steps. I'm saying it's going to affect the teams that pick the players and the players that choose to come out. That's what I'm talking about. Don't think for 1 minute Caitlin Clark and her team haven't looked at it and said, hey, Indiana Fever would be a great fit for you. It's a young core.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
You're talking about once they're picked, when they're in the locker room.
I'm talking about the things that we don't normally talk about women's sports. The emotion and the cattiness and the back and forth that goes on between women, regardless. That can happen between women regardless. Right?
I mean, perfect example. Look at LSU. Look at LSU right now. Look at that. Look at the turmoil that happened at the beginning of the season at LSU.
I don't think that's player driven. I don't think that's player driven.
Yeah, but you had it spilling over to parents, going back and forth, and all of this nonsense.
But that to me, from what I've listened to in the chat and what people have had to say, I contribute the mess that was at LSU this earlier this year to Kim Mulkey totally. She brought HVL in. So here's the thing. And Coach, I watch a lot of TV, and so a lot of times I use scenarios from TV to kind of get my point across. So there's an episode on the Cosby Show where Vanessa brings Dabness home, right? And Cliff talks about, he asks Dabness, "What's your favorite meal?" And the dude says something like a porterhouse steak with some onions on it and potato, all that, right? Good stuff. You can see it, you can smell it, right? You ready for it, but then they present it to you on the inside of a garbage can. She brought HVL down there and presented her on the inside of a fucking garbage can. Period. HVL looks like she feels uncomfortable. She's not playing her regular game. LSU is suffering because they're trying to push HVL into a position that she's not fitting in, when everybody should just take a step back and say, you know what, damn it, this isn't working. And it's okay that it didn't work. We can make some adjustments and still make this thing work. Instead, they keep trying to push this narrative that HVL is going to be their PG. And that could push them right out of contention.
Absolutely.
From going deep into March.
We saw that front and center versus South Carolina recently. And her dad was running down the aisle.
Not only that, they just turned around and lost again.
Sure did.
Yeah. So LSU has lost Is it 3 games, 4 games now
They've
this
lost
season?
3 games.
Well, they went back. I thought that they had already
Let me
lost 2, and then
see.
they just
Let
lost
me
2
see.
back to back. So I thought it was 4, but maybe it's 3.
Let's see.
But
Whoa. It says, let's fact check. Yeah, they've lost 4.
there you go. Thank you. So 4 losses that maybe you didn't have to take
2 in a row.
if you still have Poole there, you hadn't run Poole off,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you're using your personnel in the best possible way that you can use them. And I just don't think that that's happening based on what I was hearing in the chat. And so for me, what's at LSU is a one-off more so than it is something that happens every season, because I think Kim Mulkey came in there and she was this is just like Kim's like what, 3rd year? Don't fact check, man. Listen, they'll tell us in the comments. 3rd or 4th year at LSU. She ain't been there 5 years, I don't think, right?
Right.
So
but you know what? But
they came in and they operated at like an $8 million deficit, right? And then they won the Natty.
Mm-hmm. But you
and
know
I feel
what?
like she feels the pressure to just try to keep building on that, and she doesn't want to do it organically.
Yeah,
and trying to force it caused the problem this year.
But getting back to your original point, though, I think you're right. There would be a lot of issues in the locker rooms. The emotions will run high. You have somebody coming in, basically, and let's call it what it is. It would come down to the money. I would feel a certain type of way if I was leading the team in the WNBA and I've been, like the center of attention. And now here comes somebody making like potentially 3 times as much as me without stepping foot on the WNBA court. And now they're stepping into the league, and immediately the endorsement vultures are going to jump all over those.
But not only that, let's be clear.
Mm-hmm.
NIL deals don't disappear when you go pro.
Exactly.
They come endorsements.
They're only going to add more.
There's no way as a business I'm walking away from you and your 15 million followers.
Jordan Brand is going to call. I don't know which one of these candidates when they come to the league. Under Armour is going to call. They're going to get on this marketing.
Reebok already called.
Yeah. So, there's going to get some big deals, some groundbreaking shoe deals, some endorsements, and I agree. This is going to be real interesting to see how that goes. There could be a change in the guard here. We need to look at the average age or longevity of WNBA players right now, how long people have been in the league. And you can definitely see a shift because this is a new concept that's coming through. So you own to something there.
I think leadership in the locker room is going to be really, really, really important. And it's going to be a level of maturity between everybody and a level of respect that's going to have to be there to keep this momentum going.
Right.
But also to have this shift take place, because there's definitely a shift that's getting ready to take place. The league is getting ready to get much younger really quick. Because there's no way that I'm paying somebody for their 15 million followers and I'm going to support you having them on the bench. So, I think the best way to grow these leagues is to welcome these young players in with their NILs and their endorsements, and try to build partnerships with these companies that are endorsing these players. Try to build partnerships to turn those endorsers into supporters and sustainable relationships from a marketing perspective for the WNBA over time. You're gonna have to turn them into sponsors. Let's see. So, keeping along, we got